All right, we live. This is part two of Uproar. My name is Sarah. Thank you for coming to my channel. You know, I gotta give you conscience education when you come to my channel. You understand? I gotta give you conscience education when you come to my channel. Okay? And that is, like I told you, part two. Let's continue. You, as an African man, or you let me put this, go to any African home, tell them, I want to come here, buy your daughter. When I buy your daughter, I'm gonna whoop him, I'm gonna whoop her, I'm going to let somebody mis rape her, I'm going to let somebody do all these things to her, and that's it. Okay, I'm gonna teach you guys why this is the worst thing you can ever hear, and you have to always denounce that. So I'm gonna do all these things to you and your daughter and everything. And whenever your daughter, okay, and I will take your daughter away, okay, and I'll pay you $5,000, okay, for your daughter, okay. And you said, oh yeah, go ahead, take her away, beat her, do all the things to her, and then that's it. How dare you? That's what the person is gonna say. How dare you? Think as if I'm supposed to take my child across the sea to go out there and be mistreated. How dare you? How dare you? You're going to do what? You're going to hang him on a tree? They will say you got a psychological you are psychologically you are sick. Psychologically you are sick. Okay? You are psychologically sick. No man, no woman in Africa, even today, will tell you do that. You see, have you ever seen a homeless man with a dog? They love the dog so bad, like you come next to the dog, they're willing to hurt you. You see that? This is part of nature where the things that are said defiles histories that have been told. Lessons that have been told, it defiles it. And if you listen carefully, you will see them. It was only an agenda to break folks. Do you understand? You hear me? Who in an African home, even not even an African home, any culture home, will say, go out there and they came, we sold you off. What? What? Who sold you off? They said the Africans sold us. This is what our kids are holding in their head, walking around. The African, you all sold us up, guys. It was I was like, the level of stupidity is up to the top, man. The Africans sold us off, and when they sold us off, and then these Africans don't like. What the hell? Who said? Why are you guys saying this? Like I said, when you say that to me, it shows me how ignorant you are. Because you are saying, think about it, that the African home sold you off to go ahead and be mistreated. Do you have a child? They are like, yes. I said, so look at your child. I'm coming in there. I want to buy your child $5 billion, take her away, murder her, do all these things to her, and it's okay. Does that sound? How does that sound? That's really bad. That's terrible. Do you understand? That's terrible. It's a culture you don't understand. That's terrible that you think the African man sold you off to go out there and be mistreated. It's time to ask yourself some questions. That what kind of arrogance are we raising? What kind of arrogance are we building our perspective upon? The kids are walking around saying, y'all Africans sold us off. So they see another African and they are like, I want to talk to that thing. They sold us off. They don't like us. You like, ugh, quit, shut up. Shut up. Okay? Shut up. You cannot stay in, let me tell you, shut up without words. Okay? How do somebody go to war and at the end of the war, they tell folks, guys, think about it's almost like, let me take you to Vietnam War. I took you to go to Vietnam War, okay? Because you were strong, you knew a lot of things, you were wise, you were everything. You can go ahead and stop any occurrence from trying to come and hurt us. Explain things. Remember what the Bible says? It says, go out there and become what? In Matthew. Go out there and become what? Go and teach them to become the followers of God. Let them do the right thing. That's what the Bible said. Go out there in Matthew 28, I believe. And almost like I'm telling you, I'm saying, go to Vietnam. Let me give you, go to Vietnam. Go, and there was a Vietnam War, right? You went to Vietnam War. And then when you went to the Vietnam War, you decided that after the war, you're going to stay. But you stay in Vietnam War and you build up your home and everything. And you tell us back here in US, the United States, guess what they were doing? Hmm? They sold you off for 5 cities. I'm like, no, you went there for Vietnam War because you wanted to defend what your country stands for. You wanted to say, you know what, I'm willing to stand for this faith. I wanted to defend this cause. That's what you went out there for. That's why you became a soldier. That's what you went out there for. But they said, well, there were ships and boats and everything that was, yeah, guys. He said, do the math. Sometimes I tell folks, I said, do the math, man. Come on, do the math. Okay, do the math. Do the math. Okay? So they have it in their head as this. So the kids are running around using these words to hate their guys. I said this is why we are getting sick. This is why we are getting sick. We are getting broke down, beat down, torn apart. We cannot even see ourselves. Time to go out there and hug your fellow beings. Say, let me hug you. Let me take it away. What is the pain? Today I'm in a whole lot of struggle. Like, I'm in a whole lot of struggle. So I'm like, okay, give me a hug. Come on, come on. What is the pain? Let's get rid of it. This was so terrible. Let me get rid of it for you. Hey, today is gonna be a good day. You understand? And we ain't gonna fight up in here. We gonna be happy. Let's get rid of it. Mm-mm. It's gonna be a good day. What came through? Cut that off. Shake that off. That's it, baby. We got this. You understand? A little words of encouragement. Good job. Okay? Who told you that? That you literally sitting around there saying the African home sold you to go to another country to go and go through all these things. Who told you? Don't follow. Remember, a lot of people also were put in the system to 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 create another programming system where they are trying to make you even fight yourself. Okay? So when you see things like this, you back off on it. You see, this is where a lot of folks were making the mistake saying about, well, I don't belong. Guys, I think I've heard it all. But let me teach you how this thing works. You know, in Ghana, in another poor societies, right? Different societies, poor society, whatever. This is how it's done. Let's say you live in, some people don't have nothing at all. Like they today, what they will eat, they don't have the money coming through at all. So what happened is like, okay, the people that live in the city are like, hey, I'll take care of your son and everything if they can help my home. Meaning they can help me with they can be in my home and they can help me with the little things and everything. I'll take care of that child for you, okay? And so the child, the two mothers talk and they say, well, you are going off to go live with somebody. They're going to take care of you. But the lady wants you to do what? All the lady wants you to do is clean up. Okay. Clean up after yourselves. Make sure that her daughter is taken good care of. Okay. And then you can eat, you can drink, you can have everything that you want. And it goes on like this. It still continue. Why? Because we took it as if this. Okay, this person don't have nothing. I bring the person inside of my home like, okay, you don't have it, I'm gonna take care of you, okay? Meaning, food wise, this is how it's gonna go. Food wise, you don't have no food, you don't have no water to drink, and you don't have this. But guess what? I want you to teach my children. Okay, you are very good in maths. Yes, I'm good in math. Okay, teach my children to become better. But I'm gonna feed you. I'm gonna pay you and everything. Okay, I'll send to mom and everything. So what happened to that child whenever that child comes to our homes? This is what happened. That child, we are like, oh, we just have an assistant in our home now, right? And so what is the assistant gonna do? She's going to be cleaning and everything, right? But the assistant is get to send to go to school, or they get to help cook. Okay, they get to help cook, they get to help do a lot of things, okay, for the house. Because the agreement was, well, the mother didn't have anything, okay? So this child came and we were going to provide for the child and everything. And then the child go back home safe. So the child go, they help the home, they help in. But this is what the problem come in. When the child come into the home, the child also is like, no, um, uh, I want to have everything as your kids, as your kids. And the agreement about you taking care of me, I got, you have to give me everything and have everything as your kids. And you sit down there like, wait, when I took you from where you came from, right, you didn't have it, right? So I was trying to do what? Trying to help you, you become what, like you help me so I can help you. Okay, so whenever you see in these stories about the child was taken from another home and the child was mistreated, you need to listen to the story behind it. You find out that the mothers made an agreement that, okay, this child was really good at hard working and everything. They come and sit in the home, she's going to help my child go to school, and she's going to be taken care of and everything, okay? And taking care of is making sure this child is good, this child gets to go to some school, this child gets to enjoy things too, right? As at the place where you can afford, at the place where you can afford, because you are taking care of your children, and you said, my little money that I have, I'm going to use it to take care of this child too. I'll come back to where the adoptions come in, okay? So you see, the African woman only do it not because they you take care of this child and you want to destroy the child, kill them, destroy them. No, 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 no. It's because of what it said. What was it said? Tell me. Let me tell you, whenever you visit the African slave castles, this is the question that I had for them. Okay? I'm gonna teach you. And if you really listen, you're gonna learn. You see, they take you to all the slave castles. You visit here, you learn. 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 And folks are literally like, oh wow. So they went to this slave castle, they went to this slave castle, and then we became slave and everything. And then they took them out of here and everything. The question that I had, the question is this. You ask yourself, how did they come and take them to the building a slave? They will take you to the road. They went to this road, they went to that road, and they went to that road. You said, okay, where did they take them from to put them through the ropes to get to the slave castles? Ask the question. Come on. You see, it's time for you to grow, okay? It's time for you to grow. It's time for all of us to wise up, okay? You need to ask yourself, where did they take these captives? Okay? You will see that nobody is going to give you the answer. So if the answer is not given, then why though do you sit here and say that you were sold off? If they gave you the answer, examine the answer. What is the answer? The answer was trading. Do you know what trading is? It was trading. I give you gold, you give me what you have. Exchanging. Okay? It was exchanging. I give you gold, you give me this. I give you salt, you give me this. Exchange only. So the history comes in saying they started to exchange human beings. That's what the history came. They started to exchange human beings. That's what the kids are learning. Okay? I'm going to teach you. They started to exchange human beings in a way, okay, let's go ahead and buy 5 from you and you give me 5. Let me buy 3 from you and you give me 3. So this is what they said. History. Okay? They were buying human beings. So you ask yourself this question. Remember, I've already told you, when you go to an African home, when you go into an African home and there's a mother and the father and a child, they give you their child and said, you're going to do all this thing with the child and you can go, and the, and you are okay. Nobody will ever do that. So the history is said that we made what? The African man pick their daughter, their son, their grandson, and the slave master stand there. And this change is said, I'll give you $5. You give me a $5. And they got sold off. And the African man watch as the son, the grandson, the nephew get dragged. You said to yourself, when they buy them up from the villages, how are they able to put them, take them back to the coast? Can you guys show me the route? Well, they take them back to the coast due to the fact that guys, nobody will give you that answer. If they do, they show you the road, right? But where were they making the exchanges? Huh? Guys, it's time for you to think. Where were they making the exchanges? In a sense that they went there, buy it. You tell them this. In this whole slave castle that you see up here, what is the place that the exchange happened for the pain that I stand here, the business part of the slave castle? Show me where $5 and I took $5 and I said, take my slave and take this my boy and take him off on slave. Where is it? It doesn't exist. Don't be so ignorant. It doesn't exist even upon all those castles. What was the business part handle? But I can tell you what existed in there. There was a church on top. A church on top of the slave castles. The slaves were under, and the church is on top of it. It's time for you to think, man. It's time for you to think. You see, let no man pick up the cross and stand in front of the word and lie. Maybe it's your cross, but my cross had a head upon it. My cross had wisdom upon it. It had conscience upon it. Do you understand? My faith had conscience with it. Do you see it? Your cross may not have a head upon it. I'm telling you again. But my faith, my cross had a head upon it. So now, what does that tell you? There was a place you could hold upon my cross. There was a place you could hold upon my cross. You could hold that place to turn a door. My cross was just not any 1+1 instrument. It was a tool that could open doors. It was a key. My cross was a key that could open doors. Let no man says out there that I pick a cross and commit evil. I'm stepping my right foot down. It's called the foot clap. You hear this? Let no man sit out there and said, I pick the cross and commit evil. If you pick the cross and you commit evil, you only use the cross as a sword to destroy others. But my cross, like I said, the cross had a head upon it. filled with wisdom. It set people free. I'm here to set you free. You have been sitting for too long. I'm here to set you free. I'm here to open those chains that you think you have been bounded to it. There's nowhere on the slave castles that's going to tell you when people came with their brothers, their children, they stand on doors and said, "I give you 5 and take a 2. I give you 2 and take a 5." There's no place on those slave castles. Now ask yourself again, how? How? Why? How were people able? Do you hear me? How were people able? Then to go inside the slave castles. There was a church. There was a conference room on top of it. Have you ever heard it? What was the names of those folks who sat on the conference rooms? Hello? They had titles. What is the title? Sergeant. Sergeant Bruce. Sergeant Williams. Sergeant Williams. Sergeant Mason. Sergeant Corporal. They all had titles. Do you understand? They all had titles. What did those titles stand for? They were all in the military. They were all in the military. They were all in the military. They were all army officers, police officers, and all that. Do you understand? They all had titles. They all had titles. Guys, you need to wake up. You need to wake up. All those folks had titles. You understand? They had titles. They were all officers. They were all under that. So now, ask yourself, who then? How then will a place filled with all these officers, folks are able to come in there, bring their children, and sell them off? Think. A place with all these officers is governed by laws. What laws did they have in place? You see, when you watch these things, guys, you don't ask these questions. because you feel as if you know a lot, but you really don't. And you don't get your answers. You don't get your answers because you feel as if the things you have been told will justify a lot of things, justify your answer. But I'm teaching you today, when you get up from this channel, you will never say that again. That the African man took their family members and went and sold them to slave castles to be taken to another foreign land. Who told you that? They all had what? Military titles. Military and army, and they are all officers, sergeant, corporal. They all had the titles. So how then, as a place that is so guarded, one can go and take their kids, their family, and say, take them there? Do you see where the castles are? There is homes that are around those castles. There are homes everywhere on those castles. Next to them, there are homes. They are ancient homes. So think about it. What was happening? There's histories that cannot be told. You understand? Don't let things sit in front of you that you cannot see. And if you think you've seen it, don't be so naive into believing it. Folks literally said, guys, I'm telling you, you Africans sold us off to go to America, to go to another country, to be killed and used and all that stuff. You should know what I'm talking about. A place that is so guarded. It had it had what on there? It had rock, gunpowders. It had everything that you can shoot the gunpowder, boom, and it will. You put it's almost like a ball. You pick the ball up, you put it in the gun, and you fire it. You know, like you fire it maybe how many times you want. They pick one, they fire it. They pick one, they fire it. They pick one, they fire it. Okay. Now you see, don't be so naive about going out there saying a whole bunch of things that is not worthy of. The African man will never sell their son, their daughter, their grandson. Even in my home, in our neighborhood, I told you, when a child is missing, the child go back home. I do not care that let the child get lost at 15 miles. That child will come back home. There's no police officer. There's no detective. That child will come back home. Why? Oh, is this madam? Is madam this person's daughter's grandson's uncle, father, grandson that live over there at my? Oh, that's my uncle grandson. That's this. Ah, guys, get together. Let's take this baby back. There's a man that got lost. I'm gonna tell you. When I was a child, there's a man that got lost. The man had Alzheimer's. He got lost. And how did I find this man was the man, he was a retired, oh my gosh, this thing just came to me. He was a retired um police officer. He was a retired police officer. And the daughter, he said he was a retired police officer. He was going to get his check. He was going to get his check from the post office. Oh my god. This just came back to me. The guy was retired. He was going to the post office to get his retiree check, and he was lost. He was lost, and he could not find his way back to his house. So how did I find the man? He could not find his way back to his house. He was a retiree police officer, and he had Alzheimer's, some kind of, he had something. But I did not literally know when I met him that the man had Alzheimer's, because I was crossing the street. He was coming this way, and he almost got knocked down by a car. So I kind of ran to him, guys. I was so young. I ran to him and I said, "Hey, sir, where you going?" So he's like, "Oh, I'm trying to go to my daughter. My daughter. I'm trying to go home." And it was by the school on my left hand side, and he was here in the street. So I was like a very young child, and this time I was going to um church and everything. So so this man came up, and I pulled the man to the side, and the man he had Alzheimer's, like he couldn't even walk, something like that. So I told the man, "Let me take you home," And I said, "Where you live?" He said, "Oh, I don't know. The man just couldn't know where he was going, but he was pointing his hands up there on the top, like he's going to the top." So I said, "Okay, okay, fine. Let me help him." So I go ahead and I said, "Let's go, sir. I'll help you." And so I take him little by little. Remember? And he said he was living here. His check was here. He had this here in his hand. And I was also with one of the ladies, one of the lady that said, "Oh, let's go ahead, let's help him out." And then we helped the man little by little by little, and we took the man home. And then they said that he had a like an Alzheimer's or something like that, forgetful memory. He had that, and so we had to help him, and so we can sit him down. And so, he got there. You see what I'm talking about? When you get lost, you can be fine. And anybody walking around can say, "Oh, it's Madame Kwesi's son. Let me take him. Hey, come on, let's go home." And then drop you there, and then drop you off. Okay? Drop him here, drop him there, hey, take him back, It's almost like, what are you going to kill the person for? They had us in this spiritual essence that if you do that, the person will haunt you forever, and it's always going to be there. They follow the laws of nature, and they knew it's true, so you can't. But here, I feel like, I don't know, maybe people are so used to the notion that it's like, well, it's whatever or something. So this man got lost. I took this man back, and I was with one of the people. We took him back. He was going to go get his check, something like that, and then we had to take him back. So what I'm trying to tell you is, in Africa, okay, when even somebody get lost, we find the person and take them back. When anything happen in family, we don't say, "Oh, go put," no. We said, "Let me take you to your uncle. Go live with your uncle. Go live with your uncle, or go live with your grandfather, and go live." If the child is having a bad attitude, go live with grandfather. Grandfather couldn't handle this child. Go live with grandma. Grandma couldn't handle this child. Go live with this person. You go live with all of them, and then at the end of the day, when the child come back home, They are like, oh yeah, because now some were going to live with Uncle Mikey's house. Uncle Mikey's house said, no, get up at 8 a.m. Go ahead and wash cars. Get up at 2 a.m. Go ahead and wipe the windows. Because that house is strict. You change environment. So there's no way an African man or African woman take their child and said, let me go sew you off to a sergeant, to a corporal, to no. The question is, what happened that made a person get taken and put in the slave castles? That's the question you need to be asking these folks. It was not for no exchange. So look at the funny thing they always say: the exchange of salt. Which salt are you talking about? That's the beach right there. They have beaches everywhere. It was the exchange of gunpowders, of arms and everything. Come on, they fought with arrows. Who gonna take their son and say, "Let me bring my son and give me a gun"? Come on, time to grow up with your wisdom. It's a checkmark mode. Don't be so naive. Don't be so naive out of ignorance that you take everything from the face of it. Pass this grade. Pass this grade. You've been in this school for too long. Even the teachers are retiring. The teachers have retired. You guys, the teachers have been retired. They are sick of it that you guys can't even pass these grades. Pass the grade so we can be okay. So all of a sudden, everybody's failing. Most of you failing because most of you are taking things from the face of it, not asking the right questions, not trying to elevate your conscience. That's why we are still in this zero, and there's only number one hero running around. Change it. Checkmark mode. So all of a sudden, what I'm trying to tell you is, ask them if the person get lost, they can be found and taken back. This person, so how in the world do the African man go sew the daughter, the children up and say, take this child on the boat and take him to another community? No. And the people that are there are sergeant, corporal, and all that. You see, the African man, never even want to go to where the laws are. No, they stay away from that. Why? Because it brings a bad notion, a bad reputation, a bad setting from to family. So they everything that had to do with going to jail, police officer, and all that stuff, they stood away from it. But because we are teaching them in this lesson that it's okay, that now it's like almost like, let me go ahead and do these things, that I become part of that notion over there. No, they will not even step up there. How is it that there's a civilization there on that continent, in that continent, that there's a big old castle, and the castle was never able to go to where the civilization is there, over there? Do you understand? There's a castle and there's a civilization there that has been there for trillions of years, but they never able to go close to that civilization. Do you understand? There's somebody that said, hey, don't bring that game over here. No, don't bring that nonsense over here. You understand? Don't bring that attitude stuff over here. Okay? Don't bring that stuff over here. Stay up there. Do your all your things. Don't We gave you a leeway. Y'all want to go ahead and do a whole bunch of mess up there. Nah, don't come here. There's somebody that fought. So what does that tell you? It's a war. It was a war. It was a war. It was arguments. It was a fight. It was a war. It was a fight. It was things that we couldn't understand. The Bible told you also that when the people of Israel were leaving Egypt, the Egyptians got pissed off and followed them. Do you understand? When a bunch of people are leaving like that, it's not exchange of money. It's not exchange of goods. No way. It's not exchange of human beings. No, no way. No, 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 no. It was only almost like a silent war that your eyes couldn't see. It was almost like a silent argument, a fight that you could not see. Because no man gets up and said, take this away, it's good. Take that away, it's bad. Throw that away, it's not worthy. Let that go, it's trash. No. And no, and the person that comes is a corporal and all that, sergeant and all that. No. It was not something. You have been taught wrongly. Here, they have teach you wrongly, saying Africans exchange their people for what? Who said that? That's the biggest lie you can ever hear. Making brothers go around hating brothers. Making sisters go around envying sisters. Who did this? This is ignorance from the bottom. No way. Those that fought, they got captured. Do you hear me? Folks that fought got captured. Folks whose cities were overtaken got captured. So now you gotta ask yourself, what was it really about? Was it really about exchanging of that? Now you need to ask yourself. I need somebody to teach me. Is it really? Huh? Is it really exchanging? Yes, they said this is the history you guys have said that the African man have never saw their face in a mirror, so it was exchange of mirror. They gave a mirror, and the African man did what? took the mirror and gave them salt. Just like they say the Columbus, the story. You see, just like they're saying, the African man didn't want to see them, they wanted to see themselves. What? So we didn't have a mirror to look at ourselves. So they exchanged mirrors and then they sold the people off. Who will take a whole human being and say, take this one and give me a mirror? Guys, it's time for you to think. Okay? If you are here on my channel, I only feed you. So I feed you intelligence that you start asking yourself these questions. Oh my God. Huh. Wow. How then? Oh my God. How then do I go ahead and guys, you're now going to ask yourself, wait a minute. Yeah. So if they were doing that, okay, let's put you back in the castle. And they had human beings underneath their homes, and they had churches, conference rooms, and everything up on the top. And they're saying that's a trade. And you come to United States, and they said there's a trade over here. And they stop. So what is trade now? Now that you have grown so smart, ask yourself, how do they trade the stock markets? Upon what goods? Who is reporting? Okay? Guys, it's time for you to think. Upon what trade? You said yes. Okay? So now I'm going to teach you. If over there were sergeants and the place was heavily guarded with a church and everything up on top of it, and there were human beings underneath it, how are folks being sent off by trading? What made folks get trade? It's time to ask. You hear me? You see it? Now, do you see it? So a lot of questions that demands answers. That we have been holding on to these questions for so long. You hear me? The answer that they give never justify our questions. Force, misinformation. So I'm going to bring it back again. If they had that, they go ahead and tell you in America that when you arrive, it was a bunch of stocks. Yeah, they were trading. So if they were trading and they were doing stocks, they change. There's no more human being traded no more, right? Okay, fine. It's cut off. So they're trading on what again? Food? Okay, no, it's cut off. They said they're trading in business. If they're trading in business, who works in these businesses? Baby, you're still being traded upon. Who works in these businesses? You understand? Who's working in this business? It's me and you. You make these stocks go up. You make these stocks go down because you working. Who told you to stop? Because you working. You delivering. You're giving your energy out. You pissed off. Businesses get open. So, sweetie, you as a human being, you worth billions because of what you can make, because of what you can stand for. Believe in yourself. You hear me? It's time to believe in yourself. Stop putting the analogies together. Business never stop. Okay? And so far as you are alive, you will always be part of the business. You will always be part of that business. That the market. You're always gonna be part of it. So it's either now you step in there and run through that place like nothing, or now you sit in there and be run over. You hear me? It's time. It's time. You understand? It's time. So you ask yourself this question. If the African man is not going to do that, these folks had corporal sergeant and stuff upon their chest and everything. The question you need to ask is, then how was it handled? During the exchange, where was the exchange handled? Okay? Where was the exchange handled? Was it handled right there? Tell me, how did it get handled? Show me the books, the records. What was folks' names? Because if it's a business exchange, whoever brought me, whoever brought you, they put the name. I want to see them. Where's the record? Oh, maybe it was an embassy for you. I don't want to say it. Maybe it wasn't an embassy. It was some marketplace. You see? It's real. Don't be a joke. Don't let me run you around like a joker. Don't be. You see, I've kept quiet for a long time, guys. I've kept quiet for a long time. But when I open my mouth, I don't want you to think that I'm going to speak out of ignorance. I need you to open your mouth too and say, wow, I never thought about that. I want to feed you. Folks, you got to start thinking, okay? So you ask yourself, how? How then? What are you here for? Are you here for my how? Or are you here for my what? Oh, wow. Which one are you here for on this channel? Hey, visit my website, JUSTOLOGY. It's almost like the Jedi and OG. Okay? It's you. Okay? You are amazing, guys. You all are strong, better, wiser, and brilliant. And do not be misled. Do not be misled, okay? There is force iniquities, force entities, and it's a school. You gotta pass your education here. Don't fail. The world is a school. A lot of people are trying to pass in their schools. but it's a world of school itself. Pass within the world. You are still in your minimum basic. No, 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 no. Pass the laws of nature. The laws of nature. Respect. Pass it. Elevate your conscience. That's what it is. Elevate your conscience by passing the work. How do you pass your work? Honor your mother and father. One of them. When you do something wrong, you say, I'm sorry, I have to do it right. Do not slay others for the sake of you not knowing them. Don't judge folks. Look unto others and you look upon yourself before you cast a judge. Okay? If you can't find them within you, that's not the place for you to do what? To crucify them. The same God that make people is the same God they said make Satan. The same God could not handle Satan. The same God said, let me put Satan back on earth so that the people on earth can do what? Can handle Satan. Meanwhile, God couldn't himself handle Satan. He said, let me put Satan down with the people. And Satan be able to do what? To affect the people. God, you are not able to handle them, but you put them with the people? That's the question. God was not able to handle Satan up there. God did not kill Satan or bury him. He said, Satan, I will give you a place to go. Go down there with the people. And when you get there with the people, I'll sit up here. So tell yourself, what was God trying to tell Satan? When I put you down there, I'll put you down there and you suffer so long because I needed you to set a good example. Show me your worth, that you are a good person, that I can trust you back again, that you can stand for what I am again, and I shall pick you back up. That's why God said, let me put Satan back there. And Satan came with the people. So Satan coming down here with the people, teaching you this, learn this lesson. Satan had an assignment. If you don't know, he had an assignment. An assignment of what? Making sure he tests all of you. He tests every single body here. Testing you for a long time. That he can continue ahead when the new world come in and he can move forward to the new world. He can move forward back to God and said, God, you gave me. Satan know the time he will go. You hear me? Evil knows his time. When his time goes to an end, he knows it to the top, to the timing of it. That is September to November, is December to January. He knows it, that this is his time. So what is he going to do? He will follow his laws of doing evil, of setting the traps for you here on this planet. Okay, let me make sure I do my stuff. Hey, I told you, the devil knows the Bible more than you do. You know that? Yes, you didn't know? He knows it more. But because he is it's called stuck. It's a stuck button. He has been pushed a stuck button like stop. Don't touch my children. Don't do this behavior. That he stopped, when he was stopped, he was not able to move forward anymore. Means he didn't finish his assignment. Bam! he was stopped. When he was stopped, he couldn't finish. So where he's stopped, he's gonna make sure his throne, his kingdom, is filled with evil, things that are not good, things that don't cherish you, things that is not worthy. He's gonna do everything to organize it precisely according to his will. But it's up to you to overcome Satan's assignment, to overcome the will of evil, to move past the will of evil, to elevate your conscience to a place of hope. You didn't know? Satan knows the time. He's like, God, let me tell you, he said, God, okay, I'm gonna stay here and do evil. I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna plan all these things that I've done in my life. What did Satan do? Oh, he caused trouble in the world. He caused everybody to be pissed off and everything. So Satan, his life was put in front of him. And folks are living in Satan's, almost like the life of his tribulations, the mistakes he made. He made a mistake here, he made a mistake there, he made a mistake here. So all he's sitting and doing is what? Trying to fix his mistake where he went wrong. Trying to fix his mistake where he went wrong. So he had a timing. Like at 3 o'clock, you done with your assignment. So he had a timing. So he sit and he watch it. Okay, at 2 o'clock, at 5 o'clock, I do this, never do this, never do that. Okay, I make sure this is right. I take care of this. I do this, and I'm gonna live for this long, God. He said, yeah, you're gonna live for this. You're gonna show me that you are worthy of. You're gonna fix things that you are worthy of. At the end of his timing, guess what happened? He's not able to deliver. God said, I told you, you are not a good, you don't have a good hearted. You did things out of mistake and you created a whole bunch of problems for us. Your time has come that we have to stop. Okay? We have to stop and do what? And go to the right path. Okay? Evil knows this more. So he tried. If you are the child of God, he's gonna come after you. Because he look, why does Satan come after you? Huh? He didn't pass that. No. Evil did not pass that assignment. No. He failed that assignment. Evil failed that assignment. Okay? Evil failed that assignment. So evil is gonna make sure you don't pass that assignment. You hear me? It's loud. It's real. You don't pass that assignment. You don't overcome it. So guess what he does? He says, I'm gonna make sure you never pass it. So I continue to survive because I don't want to be erased forever. I want to go back because I look, evil trying to do good. Do you know that? I tell you, evil. No, he didn't pass this, so he gotta pass this so we can move forward, so we can elevate. And a lot of folks fall, but they are not able to elevate themselves consciously. Don't fall and not being able to elevate yourself. Fall and elevate others. Fall and elevate your family, those that are around you, that they will say, wow, this is the one. You understand? So, what I'm trying to teach you today is this questions, the questions that you must ask. You sitting out there saying, this person sold you off. That's a lie. That's a lie from the chronicles of hell. It's a lie. It's a lie in a way that you have bought into the lie, so you have failed. Never let these things come out of your mouth. You have failed your exam. You don't get elevated. You don't get a check mark. You bought into lies. You get a check mark when you said, "No, man, I know the truth." And the truth is, that will never happen. You want me to tell you why? Explain it. The exchange only happened. Huh? You go do your own homework. Okay? I'm not gonna sit here on my channel and say, you go do your own homework. But it was not an exchange. Exchange means I give you, you give me. It was not an exchange. Do you hear me? When people that you don't know come upon your land and said, I'm gonna take all your land, you resist them. It's the resistance. You resist them. I resist this. I don't want this. Hey, I resist whatever you're trying to make for me. No, go away. No, 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 no. Back off. Don't come closer over here. I resist you. It's a resistance. This whole planet was not made out of people that gave in. It's made out of the ones that resisted things that never served them. Resisted what is called ending of free will. It's the resistance. Do you understand? It's the resistance. You hear me? It's the resistance. So if you resist, you are like, well, you're not gonna come here and hurt other people and other folks. I resist you. Then they will say, well, I'm gonna take you away. You have only an arrow, a bow and arrow. How you gonna shoot somebody who had a medal? You can't. How you gonna shoot them? You can't. You have a bow and arrow. How you gonna shoot them? You can't. Okay? You cannot shoot them. So there's something that they had to do. There was an agreement. You need to ask them, what was the agreement over here? We want to see it. You understand? We want to see it. What happened? We want to know. Bring all the books back. We want to know. What agreement is it? Like I told you, I had a dream. I went to a place. There was a bunch of contracts. I tore apart the whole contract. I destroyed the whole place. I said, no, this place is horrible. I tore the whole place up. I said, no, this is a bad contract. I don't agree to this contract. Guess what happened? I woke up the next day. I went to work and they were announcing somebody broke the contract. Somebody broke the contract. This is not good. Then somebody broke the contract, and I was like, what's happening with these folks? And they were announcing that something happened, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I think somebody was trying to. Yeah, I broke the whole contract. Like, no, man, I destroyed this contract. This construct is to me, it's a construct. This is the architect. So what the architect? The construct was not good. I destroy it. I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. Cuss that thing out. I'm done. It's the resistance. You see? So people that will resist certain things, you say, oh, mm-mm-mm. Guys, you whenever you are resisting things like that, you are asking, hey man, why is this here? Why is that there? Why is that there? You should know if there is the prison over there, if there is a prison over there, huh? Guys, I don't want to tell you. Is the prison over there? The people are still saying that they lived there for all these years. They have everything going on. What is the answer for that culture? You gotta start thinking. There is a resistance somewhere. There is a world resistant somewhere. You need to understand cultures. It's a beautiful thing. You need to understand cultures. It's a beautiful thing. Don't go out there and destroy somebody's culture that you don't know. Don't go out there and do all these things. Because even the world that we live in, this world, it also have its own resistance. This world we are in, it also come with its own judge, its own time. That's why the cycles are here. It comes with its own, it's almost like its own judge, its own timing, its own resistant. It brings it. Every cycle, it comes. Its own change. Okay? So understand the culture and say, okay, this is the time. This is here. This is here. This is here. Where are we going from this? Let's do this. Let's say, let's stop this. Let's do this. And that's it. Okay? I appreciate you all for being here on my channel. I just need you to know you got to start asking the right questions. Let's pass the biggest grade today. And the biggest grade we are passing today is ain't no African man taking their child to go out there and sell you off. Okay? No African man did that. That was from a first level of understanding. Okay, we passing this grade. God, I put a check mark on this. I pass it. Yeah. The second grade is what? What happened? Okay, what happened between the old civilization was never taken. The how, where, who, how did they take them? If they said it's an exchange, huh? In your textbooks, they were selling them, exchanging them off. In your textbooks, how did the exchange happen? They said they bought them. Who took the money? Guys, you got to start asking who took the money. They said the people individually took the money. That's a lie from the devil. Don't pay into it. The people itself brought their kids, they brought their families, and then they sold them off. No, man. Somebody said, well, because in Africa there was a tribal war, and the tribal war, guys, you listen to folks, you are like, my God, there was a tribal war, and whenever they did the tribal war, when you were captured, then you were taken away, okay, to get sold off. So the middle guy was sitting on the side. If there was a tribal war, I'm telling you, if there was a tribal war and folks fought and you were taken away to the people and get sold, you need to ask yourself this question: Who who created the tribal war? Who created the tribal war for you that they were able to sell? They were able to sit down there and take a check, right, and pay folks. Bring the people that you are bringing. We'll pay you. We'll pay you. We'll pay you. You see, we cannot say it's a refugee camp because there's chains in there. You hear me? If it's a castle, well, where's the king and the queen? We don't have it. It's a castle. Where's the king and the queen? Where are you? It's a castle. Where is the king and the queen? It's time. It's time, queens. It's time, kings. It's time. Your castle is sitting with your castle all torn apart. Ain't nobody able to even to tell what seat you belong to. It's time. You understand? It's time for you to also stop. Stop, stop, stop. You're not gonna be a slave forever. You have not even been you are not. King, you are not. You understand? To sit and work for all those. No, no, no. King, you are not. Your seat is empty. Who said you are in prison? Don't sit out there and say I'm in prison. No, 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 no. You are freed. You are a freed man. You are a freed man. It's time. You hear me? It's time for us to go. It's time for us to get up. It's time for us to be stable. It's time for us to move ahead. It's time for us to say no way. It's time for us to say, okay, let's stop evil. It's time. You hear me? So let me go ahead and end this video. We will talk later. But today we pass a course. The African man will not take their child, their daughter, and say, I'm going to go ahead and sew you. When you go up there, I don't know what they're going to do to you, but you're going to be cut, beaten, torn apart, thrown down, and everything. And yes, I take my money. No, no. There's something that happened. You need to go and find out what happened that the people were put in the castles. I need you all to explain it. The man did not say it's a lie it's a lie from the goddess. No, it's a lie from the goddess. It's to keep your conscience so low. It's a lie from the goddess. No. Time to pass your grades, guys. You don't need to define yourself anymore to any person you meet. When you see your fellow African man, you say, hey, brother. Hey, brother. I understand. I understand. Hey, brother. It's time to go. Guys, it's time. Stop it. It's time, baby. Okay? It's time. It's time to say, it's time. Family, it's time. No, I don't have to explain myself to you no more. It's time. Thank you, Lord. I'm out. God bless you guys for coming here on my channel. You know, I can be one. I can whatever you want me to be, I can come through and I can be you. And I can help you fix yourself. Like a friend of mine said, man, you can be you can go from high. I said, yeah. That's what makes you a human being. You can go to places that has the darkest nights and you can fix everybody there. That's what makes you a human being. What is your definition of a human being? And they are like one way. I said, no, that's the highway. Be unpredictable, be untraceable. You see, when you are becoming that way, you got a label. Some people are like, well, maybe they're gonna give you a label. These folks always come up with a label, and the label always go with the medical field. Ah, you know, no, 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 no. Don't be taking no labels no more. Pass your grades. Let's get out. Okay. You see, maybe you fail so much in education systems and all that stuff, but maybe you are passing the biggest grade in the world itself that you live in. Do you know that? So why are you giving up so bad in your life? Why have you been sitting so long? Grandma, do you think 60 years means you are dead, you are gone? No, grandma. Put some music on, dance, hey, let it off. Enjoy yourself. It's time to free your mind, free your soul. We will come back again upon this planet. And when we come, you don't want to come back with a crippled leg again. No, no, no. You want to come back and say, mm, mm. The last education system, 300 billion years ago, when I was here, my hair was all not right and everything. But this time, because I did good with talking to folks, guess what I became? I got to become yes. Time to change, guys. Let's raise the frequency. Let's get rid of unnatural things, okay? And let's become ourselves. And yes, they said there was a black hole coming, guys. I'm a little terrified. I'm like, whoa, there's a black hole coming. I don't know, but I'm praying for you and your family out there. Whatever the black hole is coming, I pray that it don't swallow all of us. And they also said, there's the aliens are coming. I'm praying that whatever alien that's coming, the one of them that I watched on the sci-fi movie was the alien is coming with black this what is it, black ship with lights all up on it, with lights on, and that alien ship is going around, and literally it sets lights on people's face, and if you touch that alien ship, people said they got cancer, and they were literally their skin was toasted, and they had to be taken to hospitals and everything. So guys, if you see any triangle alien ship running around in the sky at your backyard with lights flickering everywhere on the triangle, don't go and touch it. It's an alien ship. The people that are in there, we don't know. They say they are the Greys, and the Greys, literally what they do is they destroy, they want the Greys. They say the Greys, yeah, yeah, they say the Greys do something, and what happened is the Grey can take you onto their ship. They can literally fix you, and then they bring you back out from the triangle ship, and then yeah. So guys, it's a lot of things going on there. I'm praying for you and your family. I'm saying I'm praying for you and your family. The way that the government is saying, the government files the alien come through, it's very, very scary. We paying all this money to our taxpayers, and they coming through. That is a black. It had this. Guys, I'm telling you, it's a black ship running around. The alien said they have seen it. I mean, the government saying they have seen it. It's on the alien website and stuff, and the government files and stuff. They have the ship. It's triangle. They have lights all up on the triangle black ship, and then it heats up really cool. And so, guys, if you see this thing in your backyard, please don't touch this alien ship. They said you can get cancer. They said, you're gonna throw up. They said you're gonna get sick, and you're gonna be put in the hospital for so long. So I'm telling you, be careful, okay? Be careful. Not everything that you see that you gotta go touch. Some of the stuff like this, if you touch it, guess what? You're gonna be set on fire. Okay? So be very, very careful. And like I said, the black hole is coming. They said it's up in the sky. Guys, I'm walking around, my head on top of my head is like turning around and it's hurting. It's like pins coming out of my head. Guys, whatever black hole is coming here, I'm praying, God, please don't let it swallow me and my family. God, please keep us safe, okay? So now is the time you gotta pray, okay? Pray to God. Whatever is going on up there in the sky, they're coming from another world. They are grace. They're gonna kill. All these things. It's very scary, okay? But we gonna pray about it, okay? We gonna pray about it, okay? All right. I love you all. We're spending so much money, $20 billion on the grace coming, and they're going to do all these things to us. Can you imagine? In the government system, guys, pray, okay? Pray. Pray and let's move on in the right direction. I got God. Do you got God? Huh? If you do, guess what? There's nothing impossible. I'll see you later. Bye bye.